The chief executive of left-wing political activist group GetUp is refusing to rule out using bird-dogging tactics in the recent federal election. Now, bird-dogging is a US political term. It's about the tactic of harassing candidates. While appearing before the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters, GetUp Chief Executive Paul Oosting denied associates of his group bird-dogged South Australian Liberal MP Nicolle Flint in the recent 2019 election, despite documents on GetUp's website encouraging otherwise.
I agree that it's in the training materials, but our focus in booth was on doing things like, making phone calls, trying to reach out to the public, holding public events.
That's not bird dogging. That's not bird dogging, Mr. Oosting. And your attempts to recategorise it, quite frankly, are disingenuous.
I mean, bird dogging was not a focus of our campaign.
South Australian Liberal MP in the federal parliament, Nicolle Flint, joins me now from Canberra. Nicolle, thanks for coming on the show. The material posted to the GetUp website tells its members, and I want to quote them directly here, that the hardest part of figuring out where your target will be is ahead of time. Do they have routines? This is your target that you could use to your advantage. A John Howard-esque exercise schedule or a favourite coffee shop or cafe. Now, call it whatever you like, bird dogging or encouraging harassment, but it's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Exactly, Peter, and it's dangerous behaviour. If you're directly encouraging people to target candidates and members of parliament and follow them around and work out their routine, then that's ultimately dangerous because you don't know what those individuals will do once they have worked out where you are and what you're going to be doing each day. And for women in particular, I think that it's very unsafe and certainly makes you feel unsafe when you do have people following you around, as unfortunately I did with the stalker during my campaign. It makes you feel incredibly unsafe. And when they're turning up, when you're not expecting them to, when they're turning up at events that they can't possibly know about because those events haven't been advertised or broadcast, that's when it gets really scary.
I guess the point of it as harassment tactic in a campaign is to get you to pull out, not just to, resign from running, but more that you withdraw from the debate. You're not there as visibly as you should be in a campaign, that you scale down the size of your events, that you only have, trusted party faithful there, which is precisely not what you want to do in a campaign. You want to get out to all the uncommitted voters. You want to get out as widely as you can. So it sort of forces you to pull your punches as a candidate, doesn't it? And that's the intent.
Absolutely, Peter. And as I said in my evidence to the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters, in the last few weeks of the campaign, I did stop driving around in my branded campaign vehicle because it makes you such an obvious target because there's Nicolle in her car with her face plastered all over the side. So in the last couple of weeks, I ended up just having to park it in a conspicuous location each day so people would drive past and see it. But that very much stopped me from doing what I would normally do. We did get to the point where we made a strategic decision to have limited numbers at certain events. And even when I did that for one community announcement that Tony Passon, MP, member for Barker, and Senator Erica Betts grilled GetUp about in their evidence, GetUp still managed to find out that I was holding a private community event that was not advertised to the media, that was, no media alerts were put out. Nobody knew, apart from those few attendees who have been personally invited, and yet GetUp and the stalker still managed to turn up.
Yeah, well, I don't see many circumstances of GetUp bird-dogging someone on the left. It's only Conservatives on the right, not even all members on the right, just Conservatives like yourself on the right. How does GetUp get away with it? Is it going to be something that the Parliament, and people in the Labor side of politics should call this out as much as anybody, but is it something that Parliament's going to be able to crack down on?
Well, Peter, Parliament has, well, certainly the Liberal Party and the government's tried in the past to have GetUp declared an associated entity of the Labor Party, and I still firmly believe that they should be, because all of the evidence would suggest, and if anyone has time to watch the Joint Standing Committee evidence from yesterday, the Labor Party asked very friendly, favourable questions of GetUp at the end of their evidence yesterday. So to my mind, that's just another indication that they do work cooperatively. And I look at my how to vote cards, the how to vote cards that GetUp put out during my election. They said, please vote for Labor or vote for the Greens. So I don't think you get much clearer indication that they are working closely with the Labor Party and the Greens than telling you to vote for them.
Has it put you off for next time round?
Peter, you know that I'm a very determined person, and I'm so incredibly proud to represent my local community, and honestly that is what has kept me going, is knowing that I've done some really good things for my local community. I'm representing some of the most inspiring volunteers and, you know, local sports clubs and people who really care about our local environment and our area. So that's why I get up every day and, pardon the pun, and keep representing them, because it's a huge privilege. And, you know, being in this place, you can do a lot of really good work. So I just focus on my community and focus on doing more and more policy work as well.
Well, I think they'll be mad to take you on next time, Nicolle Flint. You'll call it out as soon as it happens again, and you can come on this show and call it out any time. Thank you for your time as always.
Thank you.